Hi guys, welcome back to Infinite Possibilities, the podcast where we explore the lives of amazing people, their choices, challenges and opportunities. And today we're back with part 2 with Tree.
Hello Karen, how are you today?
Good, thank you so much for being back again.
Yeah, I'm happy too.
Yeah, that's good. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about, doing a PhD and research with Tree.
Okay, I'm happy to share it with you. So what do you want to know about that?
Yeah, so first, from part 1, you said that you had encouragement from a teacher to do a PhD. So why did he think that you were sort of suited for PhD? Were you just very smart, very academic, very detailed?
To be honest, I would like to think that's it because of my personality. Because I'm thinking I would like to analyze something and explore something. And when I found out something new, that's one of the moments make me feel very happy and satisfied at the moment. So one of that personality make me like to do research. Because when we do the research, we hypothesize something, but to be honest, after the analysis and after some of the experiment, you find out that that's not what we hypothesize at the beginning. That's one of the things will make you feel, that's the aha time, maybe that's just like what you hypothesize, or it's not like what you hypothesize. So I accept something new after the research.
That's true. Research is all about exploration and testing assumptions and changing your mind ultimately. Yeah. And so for your PhD, can you give me like a 2-minute summary of what you did it about?
Okay, for my PhD study, I focus on how information system can help consumers to make sure the food they would like to eat is safe to eat.
Would like to eat, and then so how they decide if they want to eat this food. And so what's the decision-making process?
Yes, that's the point. The decision-making process here is, I hypothesize that the information, if the food producer, they provided it to the consumer, and based on the information about the food ingredient, how they make, how they produce the food to become a final product, and based on that whole bunch of information, the food consumer will make the decision whether they consider this food is safe to eat or not, and then they will consider to purchase it or not.
Oh, okay, cool. And then is there sort of information systems component to it, or it's mainly just like looking at the decision making?
Actually, we looking at the information system component there, the traceability system. And then another thing, it also embedded in my research as a social media. Yeah, we would like to say where the traceability system provided the necessary information that the consumer need, or whether the social media they can provide some of the information that consumer they can use social media to search for some helpful information.
Oh, cool. And how did you come up with the topic?
It's because, yes, that's a good question. The topic came to me because I used to study in Taiwan for my master degree. And at that moment, I remember that's around 2011. In Taiwan, there a big food scandal. And then, one of the very well-known company there, they collapsed because they provide the untrue information about foods. And then that caused a lot of problem there. And then they make the people there, they didn't trust the food they buy and they eat.
Yeah, that's a big issue.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because I think when I talk to some other students, their supervisor give them the topic, but it sounds like that you had to come up with the topic.
Yes or no. If you follow the supervisor supervision, it means that your supervisor is the expert in the area.
Yes.
And then they know what they want to do to make some contribution to that area. So that's good, nothing wrong. But for me, the difference is my topic come from the practice, come from the reality. So that's why I say one of the challenges when I conducted my research. The challenge is maybe that's the practical issue, but may or may not match with the academics issue. That's the challenge I need to overcome now.
That's very cool. You have a very sort of strong link between like theory and reality. A lot of people maybe generally focus solely on one area. Yeah, and then also you last time you said that like you were like almost able to complete your PhD in 3 years, but extended to 3.5 because of COVID. So how did you manage to do it so quick?
I can share the experience with you. One of the thing because as I shared with you in the session 1, I used to work as a research officer 4.5 years before I came here. That's one of the things helped me to gain some experience before I started my PhD. That's the first thing. And the second thing is my topic is just like before that I had some one paper related to this kind of topic. I just developed from that paper. And the third thing is it may be related to my personality. I am quite focused. For example, if I have the target and then I focus on that and then I will follow the plan, I set it up and then I follow that plan to step by step to finish this.
Interesting. And so how did COVID delay your like finished product by half a year? How did COVID have the impact?
The COVID impact, some of the thing that I couldn't control. The first thing is my supervisor was not in Australia at that moment.
No.
So that's why I had to wait. He came back. That's the first thing. And the second thing is because the process almost finished, but I need not the support, I need the advice and the supervision for my supervisor and the reviewer. But at that moment, because of the COVID, everything, they just slow it down. So I couldn't do anything.
Oh, that sucks. All out of your control.
That's out of my control.
And so what is like a day in the life of doing a PhD? So like do you sort of write a to-do list every day of what you want to accomplish, or how do you sort of allocate your own time to finishing your PhD?
So what do you mean I allocate my own time? For example, my working time and my leisure time, is it what you mean?
Yeah, because I think that to do a PhD, you need like a lot of discipline, right? Because the time is all in your control and, some people, like you can't cram a PhD like you can cram an assignment in your bachelor's. So what does every day look like for you when you're doing a PhD?
That's a very good question. I need to rethink a little bit.
No worries.
To be honest, I'm a self-disciplined person. Every day I work in the office from 9 to 6 or 7, something like that. But because I am a self-disciplined person, so when I leave my office, I will not do anything else after that. That's my own time. So when I leave my office around 6 or 7, I like to watch some YouTube, watch some movie, watch some drama, and then chit-chat with my friend, and then at the weekend I will play football or play badminton, and I also keep cooking because I'm an international student here. I keep cooking at home, and sometimes I do photographing. But when I leave my office, I will not think about that anymore. But that's it theoretically. Sometimes, for example, we just receive the email or maybe some feedback from the supervisor or from someone else. We need to do it even I'm at home. I still need to do that because that's the time we need to make some quick response to them. But almost the time when I leave my office, I will not do anything else after that. I hope that's one of the way help me to refresh my mind after 7 or 8 hour working on my working day and then related to my research.
That's pretty good. But it sounds really cool that you have a bit of like work-life balance, right? You play sports, you also do cooking, and then you do...
Not really, to be honest, because I still work 7 or 8 hours per day, or maybe sometimes more than 8 hours per day. About that. I think that's not really balanced. I think the balance should be 5 or 6 hours per day. I'm not quite sure. Is it the style here?
9 to 5. So how many hours is that? That's like around, probably around 7 hours, 6 hours.
Yeah, so that's why I work more than that already.
Yeah.
So not balanced, to be honest.
Yeah. And so when you started your PhD, did you sort of like already set the goal that you're going to finish it in 3 years, or like, how did you, or were you just like, oh, I'll do a little bit and see when I can finish it? Did you have that goal in the beginning of when you're going to finish?
Yeah, I had the goal at the beginning because as I told you before, I am a self-disciplined person.
Yeah.
I good at manage the thing. I set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even something happen, I will try to manage it. So I think I set it up and I manage it. Try my best. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you could have done it in 4 years and got the work-life balance. So
yeah, you are correct, not wrong. But one of the things that pushed me to finish it in 3.5 years because I'm confident that I could do that.
Yeah.
Because that's not quite new to me.
Yeah.
I have some experience before. I know this project. I have some one project before related to this topic. So that's why I'm confident that I could finish it in 3 years, something like that.
Wow, impressive. And how do you stay motivated with the PhD? Because it's kind of like doing one project for 3 years. That's quite hard.
To be honest, when you enroll, when you get involved in the process, you will feel that many things will happen and many things will make you have some motivation to finish it. Because when you're still outside the line, you will see something different. But when you're inside the line, you will see actually many problems will happen and many things you need to solve and many things you will make you try your best to finish it.
Yeah. Do you ever get sick of your PhD? Be like, oh, man, I don't really want to do this. Like, I don't really want to still look at the same topic for 2 years, 3 years later. How do you sort of motivate yourself when you're like, what's the point? Or I'm so sick of it.
Not really 100% sick of it, but sometimes disappointed.
Disappointed.
Disappointed, it seems that we expect something would happen when we did that, but when, for example, we submit our research paper to the journal or to the conference, but it will rejected, and you will question yourself, or maybe I have to question myself, what's wrong with my research? I suppose it's good, but when we receive some of the rejection like this more and more, they just help us to improve our paper and our research better and better. But at that moment, it's very disappointing. So that's why now we need to learn from that. If at that moment we feel disappointed, put it down, don't think about it. And then when we keep our mind calm down, go back to read it carefully, keep our mind objective, not subjective, and then think about how to improve it, how to make it better. Just before your interview, I just received another rejection from the journal. So that's why I need to calm down myself, put it away, think about it, to see what I can do to improve it, and maybe that's one of the kind of practice in life. I think everyone will need to practice it. I'm not good at that, but on the way to practice it, because it's about not perfect, but practice make it perfect.
The more you get, I guess, used to it. Are there any other challenges besides that? Is there anything like, maybe, did you have to change your research question many times? Or like, are there any sort of like interesting stories or during your PhD? Or
Yeah, for sure, those things happened quite often. No matter how perfect you set up at the beginning, when you receive some of the feedback, some of the comments from the reviewer, from the supervisor, you need to change. But that's not the 100% you follow the order. The point here, we need to argue, we need to provide some argument, we need to make some, how can I say, you need to make your own contribution in that to show that that's not what you follow the order, but you need to prove that something you can protect your own idea. And so it's just like a competition, and then you need to have some evidence to prove that to protect your idea. And then you also need to compromise because the other one, they are more experienced, they have more research experience, they are more knowledgeable. And then you need to know, oh, something that's true, and then we need to follow. But something maybe we are true, we need to keep it. So that's the way that you need to proceed and go back, proceed and go back, and to find the balance to make you progress.
Yeah. Did you find that when you're doing your research that someone else had the same idea as you and you have to change? Does that happen?
Not really, because this problem you need to study it very carefully before you start your PhD. You need to make sure that someone has not done the same idea as what you will do.
Oh, okay.
You have to.
I've heard that sometimes people, they're writing their PhD and then like suddenly in year 2 of writing, someone else publish it and then they have to maybe change.
Yeah, it happened. I would say it happened, not 100% like that. So that's why if you could finish it as soon as possible, just try to finish, because you never know, one day someone will did the same thing like you,
get it quick.
and you are just feel very regret about that.
Yeah. So overall, like having completed a PhD, what do you think is the value in doing a PhD? And if you could go back in time, do you think it was worth it doing a PhD? So 2 parts.
To be honest, I like research. That's the first thing. So doing PhD, that's just one of the milestones only, just like a degree or maybe a qualification. It doesn't mean that I'm super good or I'm super intelligent, no, or smart. It's just,
I'm sure you are.
No, it's just because so that I'm qualified to do research only. So that's why PhD is just like the process to train us to do how to do research. I hope I answered your questions. And the second thing, after the PhD, because we learn the process how to do research, and after that we need to do the research ourselves.
True. Just pretty much laying the groundwork. Just one milestone in the whole research.
For example, just like you finish your bachelor degree, you say you can do that even without a bachelor degree, right? But the bachelor degree just gave you the chance to train you, to learn some skill, to learn some knowledge, and that's it. It doesn't mean that if you don't have the degree, you couldn't do that. No, you still can do that. But the degree just gave you the training time, gave you the time for you to think, to learn some knowledge, the skill.
I guess, it's kind of like similar. Once you have a degree, other companies, they recognize it and then it makes you more competitive. So I guess same in the research field, when they see, oh, you got a PhD, then, oh, okay, cool. Must be not too bad. So do you have any advice to people who are, currently doing a PhD or considering doing a PhD?
For the advice, for someone who are considering doing PhD, I would encourage them to consider it very carefully, because this is a painful process. This painful process mean that you have to fight your own by yourself. No one
holding your hand.
Because finally, no one can understand the topic more than us. So that's one of the things we need to think it carefully. And the second thing is time consuming. Because during that time, for example, 3-4 years, what you learn, what you do. And then, for example, we have 60 years for living, and then you spend 4 and 5 years just doing one research. You need to think about that.
That's interesting. Like the whole world kind of moves on, people, they might be getting promoted while you're still doing your PhD. So.
And for someone who is doing PhD, I have no more general advice. I just say that just follow what they are doing, follow what the supervisor and the reviewer give them the comment, and try to finish it. That's it.
Simple as
because
that.
the people outside, never know what happened inside.
Yeah.
So it's better to follow your research team. Your research team include your supervisor and your reviewer. They provide you more helpful and hand-on experience and skill to the PhD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. You also said doing a PhD is also like can be quite isolating and lonely. How do you sort of deal with that part? Because it's just you in the room by yourself, you and your work. No one really understand what you're doing. Is it can it be kind of like a bit depressing at times? And
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
you will find that feeling in the research you are doing. I don't say no, I say
Yeah.
yes sometimes. But I have to question myself that I selected it.
Yeah.
I had the responsibility to finish it,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. And now my audience, they want to know what's next for Tree. You finished your PhD. What do you think your future plans are like?
Yes, that's one of the questions I try to find the answer now.
Yeah.
Actually, when someone finishes the PhD, they try to find a job even in industry or either in industry or in academia. But for myself, and based on my experience and observation, I found that it's up to the person you would like to continue your career path in industry or your career path in academia. For me, I would like to continue my career in academia, like doing research, and if they ask me to lecture, lecture some of the course, I will do that.
Yeah.
But I prefer to do research rather than doing in industry. But I'm happy to do some collaboration with industry.
Yeah.
Because finally, for me, I believe that all of the research outcomes should be applied in practice.
That's true.
So that's why we cannot quit some of the industry that we can collaborate and cooperate.
Yeah.
Try to cooperate and collaborate with industry, do some research that we can apply our research outcome in industry and help and to make a better world and a better life.
Aw, that's very beautiful. Yeah, well, all the best with the next steps in the journey. We're going to wrap up part 2.
Okay.
So let's say
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you.